These are 42
things to do
in Venice, Florida.
And we're getting started right now.
Number one thing to do, and it's kind of becoming a little bit more famous as of right now, especially for the locals, is to go to Caspersen Beach and try to find you some shark's teeth. Not too hard to do that there.
Another fun thing to do is go to Sharky's, get a drink, get maybe some appetizers, some food. This is a beachfront restaurant and there is a beach and also a pier.
Number 3, art, murals, and statues. They got these sorts of things sprinkled all throughout the downtown. You'll see some of the murals on the sides of the buildings. You'll see the different seahorse statues, the different mermaid statues, and then they also got some of that stuff around the beach and throughout the rest of the city for that matter.
The next thing is to go seashell hunting. Our beaches are great for that.
Lots of them. Number 5, but before we get into it, if you are looking to buy or sell a home in the Venice area,
make sure to call, text, or email me. My information will be in the description box below.
She's a local realtor in case you didn't know. Next thing to do is go hang out by the splash pad, or even maybe go in if you're an adult, but especially for the kids, there's a splash pad right in the downtown area. Great for a hot day to cool off or just to have a little bit of fun.
Next one up is the Venice Fishing Pier. You can actually fish without a license there, so that's pretty cool. And this is the same pier that's by Sharky, so maybe go to Sharky's and then go fish at the pier.
Next thing to do, and I don't think I've ever heard this from anyone, but is go check out the KMI/San Marco building. Kind of cool, they got a little bit of history about how Venice got started, the military background, a whole bunch more. Interesting if you're into the history side of things.
The next thing to do is to go check out the downtown. We have lots of little shops, souvenir shops, and we also have lots of ice cream shops, which I think Venice is known for that.
Yeah, and coffee.
And coffee, yes.
Next one, I think everyone get behind this one, which is go out to eat. We have a lot of restaurants here that we personally love. We'll have a link in the description down below of some of our favorites. 2 videos actually. One's on the island and one's off the island, but that's always a good time to go out to eat.
Next one up is Heritage Park. This is actually a park in the median of Venice Avenue, and we have few banyan trees there that tourists and locals alike love, but you will see tourists usually taking pictures there, so it is a nice area, and they just added some swings, so it is a great time to go there.
Yeah, those like adult bench
yes.
swings. And actually Heritage Park goes right from the downtown all the way to the next thing to do, which is Venice Beach. But we'll actually have a link in the description down below for Heritage Park if you want to see the full video, and a link for a video about Venice Beach, but that's probably the most popular beach just because it's so close to the downtown. Great area to hang out. They have volleyball nets, a whole bunch more. Again, we'll have a video in the description down below where you can check out more about that. And another thing that's coming later on the list happens there.
Another great thing to do in Venice is to go watch our beautiful sunsets. Anywhere in Venice, even from random streets, you can see the beautiful colors in the sky. My favorite is going to the beach and actually like sit down on the beach, maybe with a drink, and watch the sunset. The colors here are just so beautiful, and it's nothing I've experienced before.
Yeah, being on the Gulf Coast is the nice side of that. You can see the sunsets on the water. If you were on the Atlantic, you would need to wake up early to see the sun rise over the water. So one of our favorite spots to catch those sunsets outside of the fishing pier is our next thing to do, which is the Jetty. Jetty is great for sunsets, but also just great to relax. You can get a bite to eat at Jetty Jack's or a drink. You'll see people fishing there or just hanging out, relaxing. A lot of times we just like to get food and then go eat it on the jetty. We'll bring it out there. And it's a great place to see dolphins. Again, we'll have a full video for that linked in the description below.
Another great thing to do in Venice is the Shamrock Park and Nature Center. This is great for going for a walk. The trails there, some of them are paved, some of them are more sandy, so like an actual hike. But kids love it. Our nieces and nephews, we've actually taken them there and they love it. I mean, kids do get tired from walking, but it's something fun. They can see turtles, they can see the little lizards that we have here everywhere around here, and you've seen iguanas there.
I've seen an iguana, yeah, and the Nature Center, I think they have like little classes and stuff that you can take there. We haven't really seen much of that just because of COVID. It's kind of winding down and stuff, but there's also basketball courts, tennis courts, lots of trails. You can go along the playground, go along the intracoastal waterway. So really cool area, pretty big park, and lots to do there.
Again, we'll have a video for that linked in the description.
Another thing to do in Venice area is actually technically Nokomis, but it's to go out to Casey Key and drive through this like tropical beachy jungle area and see all the mansions that are all the way up and down the road. It's a very slow, tight, narrow road. Very cool experience just to take a drive there. Sometimes we do go when someone new comes into town, but a lot of times we just go just to relax for a little while.
And it's fun. You always see a new mansion that you didn't see the previous time you were driving. So totally recommend doing that.
And supposedly Oprah and Stephen King have or had places
Oprah
there.
had a place there. I don't know about Stephen King.
So anyways, again, link for a video on that in the description down below. A lot of this stuff we've done videos for.
Another great thing to do in Venice is just go out on a boat. There's nothing more fun than going out on a boat and maybe go for a drink, bring snacks, and relax, or go fishing. This is great for sunsets and seeing dolphins and just like fishing different fish.
Yeah, stuff you're not gonna get in a lake, you know, because it's the Gulf.
Yes.
Next thing is something that most tourists won't be able to do unless you're in the know or down with someone that can get you into this, and it's the South Venice Beach. That's a private beach that you have to live in South Venice to get a pass for a ferry that takes you to the beach, but pretty cool to have your own private beach. We can't say much about it, but I definitely want to do it, so if we can get a pass or find someone with it, we should probably do that.
We'll definitely have a video for that too.
Yeah, we will if we do it, yeah.
Another great thing to do in Venice, which is actually in the Nolen Park area, is the Cool Today Park, which is the Atlanta Braves spring training facility. They usually have a lot going on. Sometimes they'll have live bands. There is like a little bar type restaurant there.
I think it's Tomahawk Grill.
Yeah.
Is what it's called, I think.
So you can go there, get drinks, get food, enjoy a live band. And usually, I think this is new. They were going to have like movies at the park or something like that, like a drive-in theater almost. So that's kind of cool as well. And that's only not even a 10-minute drive from Venice.
Yeah.
Well, depending on what side of Venice you're on.
Yeah, so that one's not technically Venice again, but really, really close.
They also have festivals. Sometimes they'll have festivals. We'll actually have a video link for the grilled cheese festival that we went to, which was pretty fun.
Next two things to do kind of are similar, but very different actually. One of them we did, which was laughter yoga. You kind of do these weird things and laugh the whole time, and it gives you this weird buzz afterwards. It's hard to explain. We'll have a video for that in the description down below as a one-of-a-kind experience for sure. That's right in the downtown, so a cool thing that happens, I think it's every Saturday morning. And then the other thing, we haven't done this yet, but we need to, which is beach yoga. I know they do it at Minnesota Beach, which technically is Inglewood, and one of the Venice beaches, I'm not sure, I think it's the main Venice Beach, and I don't know the days or times, so maybe see if you can find that online. But they do beach yoga in the mornings. I think it's like one day a week.
And I think both of them are free, but you know, you can leave a tip for the instructor, so that's kind of cool too. Up next is the one we hinted at earlier, which is the drum circle. This takes place in the Venice Beach, the main Venice Beach, and it is amazing. It starts, I believe, 2 hours before sunset. It's a drum circle. People are playing drums, and I think you can just join, and some people will be dancing with like hula hoops, so it's a good time to, you know, go enjoy the drum circle, but also enjoy the beautiful sunset. We'll have a link in the description for that as well.
Next thing is something that only happens once a year, but when it happens, it's a pretty big deal. People flock to it, and it takes place at the Venice Airport, which is also our fairgrounds, and it's the Venice Chalk Festival. Chalk artists come from all over the world and makes these amazing murals with chalk paint. Some of them are 3D, some are sort of interactive where you can stand in front of it and it looks like you're like punching something or holding something. And so if you happen to be here when it happens, which this last year was, I believe, in March or April, sometime in spring, it's really cool. Definitely worth checking out if you happen to be in the area at that time, or if you live here, then make sure you're ready for it.
Yes, and they also have a few food trucks, as well as, I believe, the last day they have live music, which we did go the last day this year, but we didn't know about the live music. It was later in the afternoon. We went earlier during the day.
Oh, and guess what? Link for a video for that in the description below too.
Another thing is actually a lot of things. Venice has a lot of different festivals, art festivals, the farmers market. Every weekend there is something going on, especially in winter when we have all the snowbirds here. There is always something going on in the downtown, and it's not only on weekends, it's actually on weekdays. We'll have a link maybe to the calendar.
Yeah, there's a Venice calendar, like the downtown calendar of all the different kinds of things going on.
Yes.
And we've done videos of a lot of those things as well. We won't put a link in the description, but if you just want to go through our videos, there's plenty of those in the description below too. Next thing to do is to check out the butterfly gardens. We actually have two that I know of. One's in West Blalock Park, which is a thing we'll talk about in a little bit. That's also on the list. And then the other one's in Shamrock Park, which we mentioned earlier. cool to just see there's different like flowers and things in there, and usually a lot of butterflies.
Next up, we have a lot of little parks throughout the city of Venice. The parks will have signs with pictures of history about that specific side of Venice.
At those parks, they'll have a lot of different signs with like pictures of the area, like historical pictures from like way back in the day, and then text telling you maybe a little bit about an event that happened in the city, history about the city in general, that specific pocket, and a lot of other different little facts. So if you're into that kind of stuff, again, great to do that at the different parks.
The next thing is actually an app that you can download to your phone, and it's called Venice Quests. And the app has different scavenger hunts that you can do in the downtown area about art and culture, history, young at heart, and fantasy, which is for the mermaids and seahorse statues that are throughout the downtown.
That one seems fun, and I think we should do it, and if we do it, we'll probably do a video. Leave a comment, let us know if you think we should do it. Next thing to do is sort of like one thing we mentioned earlier, which is go to a park and see the different signs, but this one's kind of different. It's West Blalock Park, and they have all these different plants, palm trees, you name it, lots of different kinds of plants, and they all have signs, and it'll tell you a little bit about where it's from, the technical name of it. It'll tell you like how much water they need, sun. So if you're into plants, that's like a planter's paradise, especially if you're into like sort of the Florida tropical plants that you can get down here. Something unique, and it's also a great spot to check out Christmas lights. Different people and companies will basically sponsor a different little tree and then the area around it, and they'll put their different Christmas lights up. And then it's really cool to go through at night and walk through. It's like all these cool trails, and each that has its own different kind of lighting theme and whatnot. Very cool. And again, we'll have a video for that in the description.
Up next is the farmers market. We have a farmers market every Saturday from 8 or 9 a.m.
It depends on the time of year. Yeah.
Yes, to 1 p.m. and we have a lot of different vendors and also food trucks, which funny thing, actually, I was thinking last night about cheese curds, because there's a guy from Wisconsin that comes every year, and he has Wisconsin cheese curds.
And they're really good. Probably
they're
some of the
delicious.
best we've had.
Yes.
And again, we'll have a video for that in the description. Actually, it's the laughter yoga video. We end up going to the farmer's market after that. That's probably our most in-depth one of going to the farmer's market. Another great thing to do in Venice, Florida is go to another specific park, which is the John Nolen Park. So we mentioned earlier, a lot of the parks will have signs that'll give you like history. Well, this one's great. It's got like a big loop you go around, and at each one it shows some of the really significant landmark areas, a lot of them that we're actually kind of talking about in this video, and give you a little bit of history on it, how it was created, maybe who founded it, who started the project, like for the Jetty and things like that, and it'll show a lot of pictures from back in the day. So very cool. I like finding out more about that kind of stuff. I'm not really a big history, like hardcore guy on that stuff, but it's just kind of cool to get a nice little walk, get outside, get some fresh air, and learn about the city you're living in.
Another cool thing to do in Venice is to go to the downtown at night and enjoy live music. We have I feel like a lot of different bands at restaurants, or maybe like solo singers throughout the downtown area. So it's pretty cool, because as you walk downtown, like you'll hear different musics coming from different areas.
And we do have a video where we do that near the end of the video. We spend a whole day in downtown, so it'll be at the end of that video. We'll link you to that one in the description as well. Next thing you can do in Venice is go to some of the different Shark Tooth stores. We got a couple of different ones near the downtown area. We haven't really went into any exclusive Shark Tooth stores, but we have one, it's called like Sea Treasures or something like that. And they do have some shark's teeth and stuff like that in there, different like little kind of touristy souvenirs. But then there's some other ones that where you can get shark tooth scoopers and things like that, which again, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, Venice is famous for that. In fact, we're known as the shark tooth capital of the world, so we definitely capitalized on that in those shops.
Yes, and if you don't feel like going to the beach and hunt for shark teeth yourself, you can just easily go downtown and buy some and just tell your friends you went shark tooth hunting. They won't know, and we won't tell. Another fun thing to do in Venice is the Venice Theater. We actually haven't gone, but we do know that they have like different performances here and there, and they also have classes.
So if you have Hollywood aspirations, that's where you're gonna get your start. Next thing that you can do in Venice, and again, this is sort of like a once a year, well, it's maybe about a month for the year, which is Christmas lights. We have no shortage of that, but in a couple of different ways. Number one, the Christmas boat parade. Link for a video for that in the description down below. That's kind of cool, something different. Also, the Christmas parade here is like legendary, like super. Even last year was the first year they had it in a couple years, and it was our first time going, and it was pretty big, but we heard it was like half of what it normally is, and people just setting up their chairs well in advance. Very cool, very big parade. And then just checking out the Christmas lights downtown. Those are beautiful. Also, the West Blalock Park, which we mentioned earlier, is very cool. And we have a video also for the downtown Christmas lights, and West Blalock is also in that video. And then
the boat parade, I think we have one
the boat parade, and then the Christmas parade. We also have a video for that in the description below.
Another thing to do in Venice, if you have a dog, is to take them to the dog beach. Venice is actually a very dog-friendly city, so if you have a dog, people will usually approach you and start actually talking to the dog before they talk to you. Sometimes they'll ask if they can pet her, or we have a dog, so anytime she's along, she steals the show, and people always want to pet her. They see that she's a well-behaved dog, so everyone just loves her. And another thing too is that throughout the downtown area there are actually water bowls for your dog.
And we also do have a couple different dog parks, kinda. The dog beach has a little dog park in front of it, and then there's one at Woodmere Park, and we might have other ones. I don't know. Those are the only ones we know about, but those are the ones we use. So very good city if you have a dog to have some activities for them. Next thing to do is the Venice, I believe it's the Art Center or Art Museum. I've kind of been around the building. I haven't been inside it, so I can't tell you 100% what you can do. I get the impression you can do some activities in there and that there is some art in there, but if you're into art, we do have something for you. We just haven't done it yet, but we know it's here. Maybe you can check it out, or if you have been there, leave a comment, let us know what it's all about.
Another thing to do in Venice is actually pretty cool. It's a trail, it's called the Legacy Trail, and this is actually connected to a Legacy Trail in Sarasota. So you can start in Venice, maybe go for a bike ride, because for a walk it would be a long walk. Go for a bike ride from start in Venice, and you can end up in the Legacy Trail in Sarasota.
And on one end of that, it's kind of cool. There's like an old historical train station type thing that you can go to. So,
and that's another thing to do too here.
Yeah,
it's fun for pictures.
Next thing to do, and we maybe should do a video for this. Leave a comment, let us know if you want us to. It's Pinebrook Park and Trail. That's a really big park, kind of like Shamrock, but very different. There's almost like this jungly type trail that goes along this river. Kind of feels like you're on this jungle safari or something from a movie in certain parts of it, but then on other parts of it, it's called a Fit Trail, I believe. They have like pull-up bars and different things you can do stretches on and exercises, so you can get a walk, go through nature, and get a little workout. But then on top of that, there's soccer fields there, there's croquet. See a lot of people dressed in all white playing croquet on, I think almost every day, actually, now I think about it, during the winters, except for maybe some of the days on the weekends. They also got frisbee golf course, they've got tennis courts, basketball courts, baseball fields. Like, it's a huge park. And soccer fields. So on top of the trail, a lot of other stuff to do there.
Another thing to do in Venice, if you like to golf, is we have a lot of different golf courses. There is, I believe, only 1 or 2 public ones where anyone can go. And then there is a lot of different communities that actually have golf courses. So if you are into golf, you could potentially look into purchasing a home on a golf course.
Next thing you can do if you want to get more of a different fishing experience is go on a fishing charter. You can go with an expert that can kind of take you to the right spot to get whatever it is you want to do. I'm not personally a fisher myself because I don't like eating it and I don't really like fishing, but if you're into that, you could probably get a different experience than if you're from, say, the Midwest or somewhere where you have only lakes. There's just certain fish you're not going to get that you can getting in the Gulf. So maybe you could catch yourself some octopus or squid or some sharks.
Shrimp.
And actually some people do catch sharks supposedly at the end of the Venice fishing pier at night. You're not supposed to be doing that, but some people do it, I guess.
And we've heard of people too that go fishing for shrimp. I don't know what the technical word would be for that.
Netting for shrimp.
So yeah, it is pretty cool to hear those stories. I think I would like to try it once. I don't know that it would be like an activity for me, but I would like to try it once. I love fish and I love shrimp.
Yeah, I would go on the boat and do it. Maybe I would even do a little of the fishing once. I think that would be a little more exciting because it's like, what are we gonna catch?
Right. Another cool thing to do in Venice is the Snook Haven restaurant / camping grounds.
Yeah, there is a campground actually next to it. Yeah.
Yes, and it is a pretty cool area. Actually, it's kind of like very, very wooded, and the Mayaca River, it's actually like right behind where they have live music. They have a little restaurant, so you can go eat and listen to live music, or if you want to go by the river, you can walk on by the river, and also you can take boat tours as well.
Yeah, really cool area, and they have all these different really little buildings. It definitely has like this old like summer camp
Yes.
type of look to it. It's very unique, very cool, and an awesome place to get some food and maybe hear some music. Next thing to do is go to Oscar Scherer State Park. We haven't been there yet. We pulled into the driveway, but they were closed. But we're definitely going to do that again. If you want us to do that, leave a comment down below. But I'm sure, like, just based on some of the different trails we've been to that aren't in a state park and aren't as big, probably a lot more stuff to see, maybe animals, cool trails, things like that. So that's one that's definitely on the list for us.
Another great thing to do in Venice, and again, we haven't tried this yet, but we probably would because we love dolphins. Well, I love dolphins and sunsets. It's the dolphin charters and sunset charters as well. You can buy a sunset tour or a dolphin tour. Someone will actually take you on the boat and you go and try to see dolphins. And I've heard this is pretty fun. And people have seen like a lot of dolphins all at once in one spot. So that would be kind of cool to do too.
Yeah, we've seen videos people post in Facebook groups where like the waves that the boat creates behind it, like the dolphins will be like doing this over. It's really cool how they find that entertaining and they like to play with the waves. And when you're done with one or two of these things, the next thing you should probably do is either buy a home here if you don't live here, or if you do, sell it and get a different one because she's a realtor.
My information will be in the description box below.
It took us a long time to put this list together, so if it helped you out, hit that like button. It really helps us out. And subscribe and turn on all notifications to catch the newest videos and
Live breezy.